Luke, here we are. The defence of the title is well and truly on now. The way you've played over the last few weeks, you must come here confident, soaring high that you are going to defend that title again.
Yeah, I mean, I've certainly given myself more opportunity like feeding. It was good for me in the middle of the campaign, but over the last sort of 4 weeks, I think I've probably played better than I've ever done in my whole career, maybe. So yeah, I've obviously given myself a great opportunity to try and defend it.
When we look at the numbers, you've got the best rolling average across the Premier League, and everyone was like, "Oh, the defending champion's not going to make it. He's not playing well." Do you think we over-analyse stuff? But when we look at numbers in the cold light of day, that you're playing the best stuff you've arguably ever played at the moment?
No, I don't think it was over-analysed. I think you're probably fair. I was sat at 7th in the table at one point, so of course everyone's going to sort of doubt that and think you're not going to get through. I kind of understand that. I mean, I've probably got the worst finishing out of nearly everyone as well, so you can imagine if it was good, how good of a season it could have been for myself. But like I always say at the start of the season every time, I don't really care how I get there, as long as I get there, and as long as I'm in the top 4, because you can average 110, but if you finish 5th, it's no good. So obviously for me, it's a good record to have and a good average to have, because obviously it helped me get through. And I suppose anything you can look at when you're averaging that high, you think it's surely only but a matter of time before it's going to have to be, and it did, just a little bit at the crunch time when I'd rather it a little bit early, but didn't matter.
Looking at it, could get the trilogy final. Obviously, you and Luke 1-1 in Premier League finals. Is that something that you'd quite like, that trilogy final here tomorrow?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's as long as my name's on the trophy again, I don't really care who it's against and how I do it. But of course, I still just love playing against him, and it's always a great game of darts. So yeah, of course it'd be nice. But if it's Gezi, then it's Gezi, and it might not even be. It might be Gezi and Johnny. So there is no definitive way of who's going to be in the final tomorrow. It's such a hard tournament to win, and if you just turn up tomorrow and play your best, then that person's going to do it. So last year it was me. Who knows it'd be this year? But of course I wouldn't mind that final.
The way you beat Luke last week in Sheffield, can you take anything from that, being it's a group, like a league phase game where this is like where it matters now? Can you take anything from that result?
You can, but I'm not really going to do that, because it's a completely different scenario. That was in the past. This is the future now. This is the present, and what's gone before, it's gone. That's it. Of course, the last 2 times I played him, I played really good against him. That's all I will take, whether they're wins or losses. Obviously, they were wins, but I've played really well actually last 3 or 4 times. So I know that I've got that good level to match him, and that's something I'd rather look on and think that that's a more positive rather than just you've beaten the last 2 times. I've actually played well against him, which is what a lot of players don't do.
Luke, you spoke last week about momentum and timing. Do you feel that you've come in here as the most informed player of the Final Four?
If you're looking at stats, probably yeah, and I guess the results would say 4 finals on the trot. It's pretty decent. So yeah, I'd say I'm probably playing the best, but coming into a night like tomorrow night, it's kind of all on the day. You could feel great or you could feel average. So obviously I've got that momentum with me, and hopefully it will continue to flourish tomorrow.
Mentally, how challenging has this Premier League been, and what's it say about your character that you've battled so much to be here?
Yeah, mentally, it hasn't been ridiculously tough, because I kind of understandable that you might not qualify every year to the O2. It is hard, it is cutthroat, and there is so many great players in it that maybe one year, unfortunately, you might miss out because it might not go your way. But luckily enough, I don't have to miss that again this year, 3 years in a row. And I think the last 2 years I've sort of just been at the top 2 considerably most of the tournament. Like 12 weeks, last 12 weeks I've just been at the top 2, and it's never looked back. So this year, obviously, a lot different, a lot more challenging for myself. I was in a position that I'm not used to being in the Premier League, and but I look back on the way I sort of bounced back, which was important to me, and that's what I will take from the Premier League. That when it was getting hard and it was getting tough for me, I still showed that resilience and that determination to not give in, still believe in myself that I could qualify. And fair play to myself, I actually qualified quite emphatically in the end by like 9 points, which is 3 weeks or 4 weeks before that I was 5 points outside.
And only Phil Taylor and Michael Van Gerwen have ever defended this in over 20 years in the Premier League, which shows how difficult it is. What would it mean for you to join that trio?
Yeah, it'd mean the world to me. It'd mean the world to everybody in my family and that. So I like to break records. Obviously, I know someone's already done it, but I like to be a part of something that not many people have got. And, I've had quite a few of them now. Joined Phil and Michael in a few things that they've done that no one else has done before. And I think Luke's done a few as well. And I'd like to join a few more, to be fair. So this would be another one that would be really nice. And like I say, it's really, really hard to win this tournament. So to do it back to back, it is quite some feat, and I've got every opportunity tomorrow to do it.
Cheers, Luke.
Thanks.
Hi Luke, thanks for the time.
Pleasure.
12 months ago you were trying to win the Premier League for the first time, and now you're trying to retain it. What's the difference in expectation and pressure going into both of those?
Yeah, I don't think there's much pressure you going into a Premier League finals night when you haven't won it, because you've not done it yet. So it's not like there's an expectation on your shoulders. When you win it, yeah, there's kind of more expectation on you, because people are more optimistic that you can do it again because you've already done it. So there's 3 players that know how to win this tournament left in it, and you can play on that experience, because you have to find 2 real tough. You have to play 2 tough players. You have to find real two tough games to out yourself. And that can be tough, so yeah, I think experience can help you in these, and I think that obviously the first time was really hard to win, but obviously I've got that experience now, might help me.
I know that you said that you would have rather wrapped up qualification earlier, but does it help you coming into it being that sharp and having something to play for, whereas the others could have taken the foot off the gas a little bit earlier?
I had this question earlier actually, and I said the same thing what you just said. I kind of feel like the last few years you're into it, and the last 4 weeks you kind of just like, it's all a bit of a bonus. You win a night, it's a bit of money, or you get yourself to the table a bit more. Obviously, because I've had to fight and had to work hard and had to get everything out of myself in the last 4 weeks, I've been playing well, and I feel like that's probably helped me more than ever, because I'm sharp and I'm focused, and the last 4 weeks have been really, really good for me. So maybe this sort of way of getting in it might do me well. It might play really good tomorrow, but I have been playing some good darts. I just hope I can continue tomorrow.
And what do you make of the Premier League as a whole? We've had Josh Rock and Jan van Veen make the debut. Michael van Gerwen's missed out for the 2nd consecutive year for the first time. Luke at the top of the table again, and Johnny Clayton, favourite to finish bottom, has stormed his way into the playoffs.
Yeah, I'd probably say the top 4 are probably the 4 best performing players of the year. Overall, Johnny's been really, really consistent. He's won many, many nights as well, which is another thing that's hard to do. Obviously, Luke's just Luke, and then Gezi, I think he's shown glimpses in this Premier League where he's been, from the old self of him that was maybe 2022. So, and then for myself, I've had glimpses, but also then shown darts that I'd probably never shown it before, performances. So I think we've all probably deserved our spot, to be fair. I think we've been well, I don't know if I've been, but them 3 have probably been the most consistent. I've just managed to force my way through in the end, and I don't care how I do it as long as I get there. And I've enjoyed this Premier League. I feel like it's gone a lot quicker than it usually does, and I feel much more fresher, strangely, this year. Last couple of years I felt a little bit fatigued, but this year I feel much more fresher.
Cheers Luke, good luck tomorrow, thank you.
Hi Luke, you spoke about the journey to get here through this Premier League campaign. This has really tested your character in certain ways. Were there any times throughout that campaign where any bit of self-doubt crept in?
Yeah, of course. It's strangely, it's a nice way to qualify, because it kind of shows the character of what you've got in you. When things ain't going well for you, it's hard. When things are going easy, it's easy. Everything feels great, and you don't really have to try, and you can relax. And when things ain't going well, it's hard, because it plays with your emotions, plays with your mind, and you're trying to change things up, trying to improve things. And yeah, I feel like this sort of might have helped me in a way to realise that I've got something in me, that resilience and grit and determination, that you do need to be a top player in darts. And for myself, like I said just a minute ago, I'm incredibly proud to have gotten through this way, because it wasn't an easy journey for me.
Yeah, and Luke, you mentioned there, I read it during the week, that you said that this would mean more to you than the first Premier League win. In essence, is that really a true statement? Because every player, when they win it for the first time, it's that extra special sort of feeling. But for someone to come along and say it would mean more the second time, that's a rare thing to say.
Yeah, because I feel like the first time I won it, it was kind of, there was nothing like stopping me. I kind of was top for like 8 or 9 weeks, and then I was second, and that's all I ever see. So there wasn't like any pressure put on my shoulders. There wasn't any self-doubt. I sort of knew I was going to qualify for the O2 by like 11th or 12th week. This year, it's kind of almost in doubt that I was actually going to even finish 5th. I was under pressure even qualify or even finish 5th. So for me to come back from that and emphatically qualify so well, and then I go on and win it, I feel that would mean a lot more to me, because I've had to work incredibly hard to do it. And I think that just like going back to the character and resilience I showed. That's why I think it would be more to me.
And final question for me. We know Johnny is a player, when he gets his roll up and when he gets the gander going, he can really, really come out of the traps flying. How important is it really, that start? Is that start the first set? Is that going to be the real key really to don't let Johnny get up his gander, as the saying goes, in terms of, because he's a real notorious fast starter.
Yeah, of course, yeah, but you know, obviously, I think Johnny will think the same. If I come out the traps, I think it's very hard to pull me back. You know, if I come out the traps and you know people see I'm averaging 110 early, it's going to be tough. You know, I know that my game is at that stage at the moment. I don't know what's going to come from me. You know, it could be 115 average or it could be 100. You know, I got that bit between my teeth. So you know, it's not just for Johnny, it's for any player you play. I know anybody can start off well. Always the game plan is to put them under pressure at the start. You know, don't give anything away. Don't throw any legs away. Get your doubles early, and you know, don't be behind. So yeah, I think for me, obviously Johnny is a fantastic player, and he is a front runner, and so am I. So I think that's what's going to make a close game.
You spoke earlier on about your form coming into this with 4 finals in a row. I mean, where do you think your form is just in general, not just Premier League now?
Yeah, the only thing I can sort of speak about was I played one of the tournaments, the Pro Tour, and I was second highest average tournament ever in Players Championship. So I can only go off them, and you know, I'd say the game's probably the best it's ever been. But it's only been a month. I'd like to see this sort of level for myself for a good few months, you know, consistently. And I kind of know I can perform at this level a lot more. Maybe I'm guilty for not performing at it as often, but I guess like the career I've had, I can't be too annoyed because I've achieved so much. But I just know there's a level in me that could do this for longer periods and a lot more often. Just maybe sometimes my eye comes off the ball a little bit, but yeah, I think when I'm fully focused and like I've needed to be, I can really put in some great averages and put in some good performances.
You asked just there about before the tournament started, Johnny was seen as a bit of an underdog. I mean, what makes him so dangerous to play against? Because you played him often enough now.
Yeah, I mean he wasn't an underdog to me. Yeah, I would have, if I would have picked the lineup for this, I would have put him in it. You wouldn't you? I think what the people forget is the last 3 times he's been in the Premier League, he's qualified all 3 times. So, you know, now 4 out of 4. If he's in it next year, I'd say the same. He'd probably qualify because he's got the experience, he knows how to do it, and you know, Johnny is you know, a very, very clinical finisher, and you know, he's not a bad scorer as well. So you put both together, he's a tough player to beat. I just know that I've got to limit his chances to finish in. You know, and if my 180s and 140s like I have in the last 4 weeks are out to show tomorrow, then it's going to take an incredibly tough performance to beat me, and that's all I ever ask myself.
Appreciate it. All the best.
Thank you.